The United States is often called a nation of immigrants, a testament to its history and the diverse backgrounds of its people. This identity has been forged over centuries, with each wave of newcomers contributing to the country's cultural and economic landscape. It's a nation shaped by people seeking not only new opportunities like economic advancement and personal growth, but also safety from persecution, war, and instability in their homelands. The promise of a better life has always been a powerful draw, but the question of who gets to come and under what conditions has always sparked fierce debate, reflecting deep-seated values and concerns about national identity, security, and economic impact. Immigration rules shift with politics, economics, and public opinion, creating a dynamic and often contentious policy environment. These shifts are influenced by a complex interplay of factors, ultimately reflecting how America sees itself, its values, and its role in the world. The ongoing debate reveals the nation's evolving understanding of its identity. Donald Trump's presidency, starting in 2017, brought some of the most dramatic changes to U.S. immigration in modern times, fundamentally altering the landscape of immigration enforcement and policy. His administration prioritized restriction and enforcement, aiming to reduce both legal and illegal immigration, implementing a series of measures designed to curb the flow of people into the country. The justification for these policies often cited national security concerns and the need to protect American workers from perceived competition. We'll break down the major Trump-era immigration policies, examining why they were enacted and their impact on families, communities, and the nation as a whole. Key initiatives included the travel ban, zero tolerance at the border, the DACA fight, and the border wall. These policies continue to shape immigration today, influencing the lives of millions and sparking ongoing legal and political battles. We'll walk through a timeline of events, examining the goals and consequences of each policy, providing a comprehensive overview of their intended effects and actual outcomes. We'll also look at what happened to these policies after Trump left office in 2021 and how the subsequent administration approached immigration reform. The story of immigration under Trump is complex, filled with legal battles and lasting changes, leaving a significant mark on the American immigration system. Understanding this era is crucial to understanding the current immigration debate and the ongoing challenges facing immigrants and policymakers alike. Before exploring the specific changes enacted during the Trump administration, it's crucial to establish a solid foundation. Let's cover the basics of U.S. immigration law, providing context for the shifts that occurred. The Immigration and Nationality Act, or INA, serves as the cornerstone of this legal framework. It is the main rulebook, a comprehensive set of laws. The INA outlines the procedures and requirements for how people can legally come to the U.S., whether temporarily or permanently. Most green cards, which grant permanent residency, are granted through family sponsorship or employment connections, where U.S. employers sponsor foreign workers. There are also humanitarian protections in place, offering refuge for those fleeing persecution as refugees, and asylum seekers who seek protection upon arrival in the United States. Plus, there's a diversity visa lottery, offering a chance for individuals from underrepresented countries to immigrate. Each of these categories operates under strict rules and is subject to annual limits, creating a competitive and regulated system. The President of the United States holds significant power over how these immigration laws are interpreted and enforced, shaping the practical application of the INA. This includes setting priorities and providing guidance for agencies like Homeland Security and ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This executive authority means that a new president, upon taking office, can quickly shift immigration policy through various means. It's important to note that Trump didn't rewrite the INA itself. Instead, he primarily used executive orders and agency memos, tools at his disposal. These were used to reinterpret and enforce existing laws in a significantly different manner than previous administrations. This approach allowed for rapid and sweeping changes across the entire immigration system, impacting everything from border security measures to the operations of U.S. embassies worldwide. These executive tools were central to implementing the America First immigration agenda, a key policy platform of his administration. The result was a system transformed, not through the creation of new laws passed by Congress, but through the implementation of new enforcement strategies and priorities. Understanding the scope and limitations of this executive power is absolutely key to understanding the nuances and impacts of the Trump era on immigration. Let's delve deeper and look at specific examples of how these tools were used in practice. Just a week into office, the new administration moved swiftly to enact its promised changes. Trump signed the travel ban, a move that would reverberate across the globe and spark intense debate. The executive order suspended entry for people from 7 majority Muslim countries, causing immediate confusion and distress at airports worldwide. It also placed a halt on the U.S. refugee program, leaving countless vulnerable individuals in limbo. The administration cited national security as the primary justification, claiming that existing screening procedures were inadequate to protect the nation from potential threats. This rationale was met with skepticism and criticism from various quarters. The rollout was chaotic, marked by confusion among border officials and uncertainty for travelers. The ban immediately sparked widespread airport protests, as citizens rallied in opposition to what they saw as discriminatory policies. The executive order also faced immediate legal challenges, with numerous lawsuits filed across the country. Courts blocked the first version of the ban, citing concerns about its constitutionality and discriminatory intent. However, a revised ban, expanded to include North Korea and Venezuela in a later iteration, was ultimately upheld by the Supreme Court in 2018, marking a significant victory for the administration. The ban had devastating consequences, separating families and creating immense hardship. It stranded students who were studying in the U.S., and even revoked previously approved visas, leaving individuals in a state of legal uncertainty. This signaled a new, more restrictive U.S. stance on immigration and border control. Beyond the travel ban, the administration also ramped up its efforts on interior enforcement. Trump expanded interior enforcement, prioritizing the apprehension and deportation of undocumented immigrants. Executive orders broadened the scope of who was considered a priority for removal, making nearly all undocumented immigrants priorities for deportation, regardless of their ties to the community or their lack of a criminal record. This meant not just those with criminal records were targeted, but also individuals with no prior offenses. This shift created widespread fear and anxiety in immigrant communities across the nation, where even minor infractions like traffic violations could potentially lead to deportation proceedings. ICE arrests increased significantly, reflecting the administration's heightened focus on enforcement. And the message was clear: enforcement would be aggressive and uncompromising. The travel ban and new enforcement priorities together marked a significant turning point in U.S. immigration policy and practice. These actions set the tone and laid the groundwork for the administration's broader agenda on immigration and border security. The impact was immediate, generating headlines and sparking national debate, and far-reaching, affecting individuals, families, and communities across the country. The era of restriction had begun, signaling a fundamental shift in the nation's approach to immigration. In spring 2018, the Trump administration launched the zero-tolerance policy at the U.S.-Mexico border. Every adult crossing illegally was criminally prosecuted, a major shift from previous practice. This led to systematic family separations. Parents went to jail, children were sent to shelters, often with no information about their families. The policy overwhelmed the system and sparked national outrage. Images of crying children and separated families drew condemnation from across the political spectrum. Critics called it cruel and inhumane, arguing it inflicted lasting trauma for a misdemeanor offense. Under pressure, Trump signed an order to end family separation, but the zero-tolerance prosecutions continued. Reuniting families proved difficult due to poor record-keeping. Many children suffered psychological harm, and some families remained separated. The policy's legacy is one of trauma and controversy. It became a defining moment in the Trump administration's approach to immigration. The effects are still felt today. The zero-tolerance era left deep scars. Build the Wall was a central Trump campaign promise. The goal: stop illegal immigration, drugs, and human smuggling. Funding the wall proved difficult. Congress resisted, leading to the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Trump declared a national emergency to divert military funds, sparking legal battles. Most construction replaced existing barriers with taller steel walls. Few new miles were built where none existed before. Environmental and property disputes slowed progress. By 2021, about 450 miles of new and replacement wall were built, far short of the promised 1,000 miles. Supporters say the wall deterred crossings. Critics call it costly and ineffective. The wall remains a symbol of Trump's immigration agenda. Its legacy is still debated. DACA, created in 2012, protected young undocumented immigrants, dreamers, from deportation and let them work legally. In 2017, Trump moved to end DACA, arguing it was an overreach of executive power. The decision threw 700,000 Dreamers into uncertainty, risking jobs and deportation. Lawsuits followed, claiming the move was arbitrary and unlawful. Courts kept DACA partially alive, allowing renewals but no new applications. In 2020, the Supreme Court ruled the administration hadn't followed proper procedures to end DACA. The ruling was a temporary victory for Dreamers, but left the program's fate uncertain. The ultimate solution remains with Congress. DACA's future is still in limbo. The fight continues. Trump expanded the public charge rule, making it harder for immigrants to get green cards if they used or might use public benefits. The new rule included programs like Medicaid, food stamps, and housing assistance, not just cash welfare. Officers weighed factors like age, health, and English skills to predict future benefit use. The administration said this promoted self-sufficiency and protected taxpayers. Critics warned it created a chilling effect, with families avoiding needed services out of fear. The rule was challenged in court and blocked, then reinstated multiple times. It effectively created a wealth test for immigrants. Many low-income families were deterred from applying for legal status. The policy marked a fundamental shift in who America welcomed. Its impact was widespread and controversial. Trump's policies transformed the immigration system, making it more restrictive and complex. Refugee admissions dropped to historic lows, and legal immigration backlogs grew. Agencies like ICE and Border Patrol faced new pressures and public criticism. Immigrants lived with constant fear of deportation. Families avoided healthcare and food aid due to the public charge rule. The travel ban and DACA uncertainty separated families and upended lives. Industries relying on immigrant labor struggled, and universities worried about attracting international students. The administration's rhetoric fueled polarization and deepened national divisions over immigration. The focus on enforcement left a psychological toll on immigrant communities. The Trump era's changes continue to shape the system today. The debate over immigration's role in America is more heated than ever. The legacy is lasting and profound. President Biden moved quickly to reverse many Trump-era immigration policies. He ended the travel ban, halted border wall construction, and sought to strengthen DACA. The zero-tolerance policy was rescinded, and efforts began to reunite separated families. The expanded public charge rule was withdrawn. But reversing these changes proved difficult. Backlogs and dismantled infrastructure remain. Some Trump-era policies like Title 42 continued for years. The legal and political battles persist, and the system remains deeply divided. The Trump years showed how much a president can reshape immigration with executive power. The era brought family separation and asylum policy to the forefront. Its impact on millions of lives endures.